Final Four in Madison Square Garden in New York City. And joining us on the Western Hotline right now is the head coach of St. Bonaventure, Mark Schmidt. Coach, it's Sal and Joe. Good to talk to you again. Thanks for coming on with us.
Yeah, thanks for having me. Much appreciated.
Tell us what's going through your mind during those last few seconds we just heard. What did you expect to happen? And obviously your kids executed, but, take us into that timeout leading up to that particular play.
It was just, it's all about execution. It's all about practice and putting those guys in situations in practice where the game becomes a little bit easier. But it's execution, trying to get the ball to the basket and trying to get fouled. And, we just try to live in the paint. And the guys, we're really lucky to have 5 seniors that have been in those situations before. Don't panic, are really relaxed. And it's all about execution, and those guys really did a good job.
You mentioned it. This is a senior-laden team. You have a lot of experienced guys that have played in a lot of big games. How much has that helped you, especially down the stretch when your season, had to turn it around a little bit to make sure you got to this point?
It's huge. When you have veteran guys that, especially in the last 3 games, we haven't had a lot of time to prepare. We got into the NIT and they sent us out to Colorado, and I think we played Colorado within 50 hours. So, there's not a lot of preparation. Scouting is really important, but these guys really understand concepts. How we guard things. You just show them one time and they got it. So we've been really, really lucky to have a team, with 5 seniors that have been there, have seen everything, aren't surprised by anything, and that's why we've had some success.
I know earlier this year there was a COVID pause, and a lot of people point to that maybe kind of disrupting your season a little bit. Can you kind of just tell us what it was like to navigate this season? We know the last couple of years in college basketball, really all sports have been tough for everyone, but how were you able to navigate this season? What kind of challenges did you guys face?
Yeah, it was really challenging. We played really well coming out of the gate, and we won the Charleston Classic and, beat, 3 very good teams. And we came back and we were done for 24 days. And I think in those 24 days, we might have practiced with 10 guys 2 of those days. And some days we had like 4 or 5 guys and a lot of individual instruction. And, it was really, really difficult physically, but more mentally. It was just really, really hard. And we had it going, and then we had that pause, and we came back, and it took us a little bit of time to really get our chemistry back and energy and, give our guys a lot of credit. Last year and this year, being able to battle through that. And there's a lot of teams that have done this and have had these, this situation, but it was hard for us. But we came back and the guys really, rallied together and started having fun again. And we started playing much, much better in the middle of the season. And I think we won 8 of our last 10 games in the regular season. And then we had that disappointment in the Atlantic 10. But our guys bounced back, and it shows, the character that we have here on our team. And for them to be able to bounce back from that, terrible loss at the Barclays in the Atlantic 10 down in D.C., it just shows, how much our guys care and how tough they are mentally. And, what we've done in the last 3 games, beating 3 Power 5 teams on the road. With the mileage, I think we've, flown like 7,000 miles, played in, altitude, and it's been hard, but our guys, it's been a challenge, but our guys have really stepped up and really have enjoyed it. And, hopefully now we can play well down in Madison Square Garden.
Yeah, does this part of the tournament get extra special just because it is Madison Square Garden?
Absolutely. When we had the disappointing loss in the Atlantic 10 tournament, I brought the guys back and brought the seniors into my office, late at night and asked them, we weren't sure we were going to get into the NIT because it's really, really hard now.
Right.
5 years ago it was much easier. But it's been, it's much more difficult. And those guys, they looked at me and said, yeah, I think, Coach. And I gave them until 1 o'clock the next afternoon to sleep on it. And every one of those guys, called me back and said, Coach, we want to play. And it was important because I didn't want to go into the NIT and, the 5 seniors not having their head into it. And we would have been, going up to Colorado, we would have been clobbered. But our guys really responded, wanted to do it. And really the sell was getting to Madison Square Garden. That's, for any kid, that's the Mecca. That's the Mecca of basketball, college basketball, professional basketball. And when I was an assistant at Xavier a long time ago, we went there and we went to the Final Four. And it was one of the best, experiences in my professional life. And I told the guys all about it. But you know how it is, like the doubting Thomas, like, yeah, sure, Coach. But now it's, now it's here. And our guys are really, really excited about it. And that's all they've been talking about, after we beat Colorado, we got in a little bit of a run and beat Oklahoma. And then, the Virginia game, that's what we talked about. Hey, 40 minutes, get to Madison Square Garden. And kids are really, really excited. The school's excited, the alums, and it should be a great event.
You said you were there as an assistant for Xavier. Is that the only time that you've coached at Madison Square Garden?
Yeah, I played there.
Okay.
Boston College in the Big East tournament.
Yep.
And that was a throw of a lifetime. But I've never coached there as a head coach, and it's something that I would, selfishly, who wouldn't want to do it?
Right.
Yeah.
In the players and have that opportunity to play in the NIT and play in the Final Four, and be it at Madison Square Garden, and be it the last time they have it at Madison Square Garden. It's a history thing, and it's something that they'll be able to look back on and tell their grandkids when they're my age.
It's amazing because I think about like when I was in high school and trying to get to then Rich Stadium in football, and I got a chance to play there and how exciting it was. And you're saying this, and I'm feeling like it's awesome because it's special no matter what age you are to have that goal to say that's where the big boys play, that's where the pros play, that's where Patrick Ewing played, that's where there's been so many great games. I think it's cool that it brings it to that grassroots level, Coach.
No question. From a coaching standpoint, from a player standpoint,
yep.
Always, you know about Madison Square Garden. I grew up in Boston, and the Boston Garden is everything. But the Madison Square Garden, from an international standpoint, from a basket, it is what it is. It's Madison Square Garden, and our guys are going to have the opportunity to play, against a great Xavier team at 7 o'clock on Tuesday. So really looking forward to it, and something that we're going to really look back on, from a school perspective too. That we went to the Final Four, and hopefully we can finish. And hopefully, the goal is to win an NIT championship. But we got to get by Xavier first.
I'll talk about Xavier in 1 second, but on the point of going to Madison Square Garden, you're going to have a lot of fans there too, obviously. We know that. Bona fans travel greatly anyway, no matter where it is, but I can't imagine what the Garden is going to be like Tuesday night, Coach.
Yeah, I can't either. I know we got like 500 students that lined up for tickets yesterday, and
wow,
it's going to be fantastic, exciting. It's almost like the Raleigh Center's coming to Madison Square Garden. I know the alums are all excited about it, and we went up to Colorado. We probably had 50 people out in Colorado, and we had people in Oklahoma, and we had a great crowd. The students came down to Virginia, and it was just you had to go Bonnie's chant, and it just gives you goosebumps, and it's going to be a great evening in Madison Square Garden. And hopefully we can play well, and hopefully we can get into the finals.
Before I ask you on Xavier specifically, I'm always curious, how do coaches approach a situation like this where you kind of have essentially to prepare for 3 teams? Because if you do advance, you have 2 teams that you're going to play, but you only have 1 day to prepare for either of those teams. And obviously coaches always say, focus on the next game. We know that. Do you have an advanced scouting staff? Like, how does all of that work?
Yeah, I have 3 full-time assistants, and one guy will take Xavier, and the other 2 guys will take Washington State and Texas A&M, and they'll be doing they're scouting now on those teams, and but our whole focus is from my standpoint is about Xavier. Washington State and Texas A&M, that's great, but if we don't get by Xavier, it doesn't matter. So the whole focus from my standpoint and from the player standpoint is Xavier. We start working on them today at practice, and we'll have 4 days to prepare. So it's just, you take it just like a regular season game. You just do everything you can to prepare and give our guys the best shot of winning on Tuesday. And then, come Wednesday, Tuesday and after the game, then I start working on whoever we're going to play and get with the assistant coach that has that scout. And we stay up all night and, work and, do a little bit of walkthrough the next day, and then hopefully get ready for Thursday in the final.
So it's Xavier Tuesday at 7 o'clock. What have you seen from them, and what challenges do they present for you on Tuesday night?
They're really good. They're really good. They have great size. 7-footer inside. They're both their 4 and the 5 can screen and pop and shoot threes. They had a unfortunate incident. Their point guard ripped his ACL against Florida in the second round of the NIT. So they've changed a little bit. Now they're a little bit bigger. But they're a very good defensive team, very big. They're the Big East. It's they're not the Power 5, it's the Power 6. So
yeah,
really athletic, and they present a lot of problems. But hopefully we can go in there and we need to play our A game, and if we play our A game, then we have a chance. Just like Colorado and Oklahoma and Virginia. And, you get on a roll, and that's what we're on. You got momentum going, and hopefully our guys can continue with that momentum. and play well. And if we play well, we got a legitimate shot.
You know, I know it's about the team. I try not to focus on one player, but since you're on Buffalo Radio, you have a local young man that's been in your program for a while, Dominick Welch. And can you just give our listeners and people who followed his career here in Western New York, just talk a little bit about what he's meant to your program?
A special kid. Came here, scored 1,000 points, 500 rebounds. Really shoots the ball well. He's really worked on his game, taking guys off the bounce. He's got a great IQ, and I didn't know that coming in. He scored a zillion points in high school, and you knew he could score the ball, but his toughness, his ability to guard, multiple positions. We play him both at the 3 and the 4. His understanding of angles, really a smart basketball player. And, he's kept his nose clean socially. He's doing well academically. I can't. He epitomizes what we try to do here. Good kid, keeps his nose clean, does the work academically, and loves to play basketball. And he's taken major strides from his first year to his senior year, and he's had a wonderful career, academically, basketball-wise. He's like my son. He's the 5 seniors. They spent so much time. We relied on him so much, and they become part of your family. And Dom is a special kid.
Coach, all right. Well, listen, that's the basketball portion. I can't let you go without asking you, are you ready to accept the fact that now the New England Patriots are the 3rd best team in the AFC East after what happened over 2 days ago?
Yeah, I'll give the Bills credit. But there's still a ray of hope. There's still a ray of hope. We still have Belichick.
That's right. Not Tyreek Hill. What do you think about the Tyreek Hill trade? That's crazy, isn't it?
I can't believe it. I would think he's probably if he's not the best wide receiver, he's the 2nd best wide receiver in the NFL. So now he's in our league, in our conference.
Yeah.
See what happens. But yeah, proud of the Bills have done great. And, it's great for Western New York, but I'm still a Patriot fan.
We know you are. By the way, thank you for all you've done for Coaches versus Cancer. I know you're very well involved in that. Had a great time down at in Olean with you and your wife, Anita. You guys were great to me. And thank you for all of that. Continued success. There's going to be a lot of Bonner fans there on Tuesday night. We're going to be rooting for them here, and hopefully this whole thing continues on. Best of luck to you, Coach. Thank you for joining us today.
I appreciate what you've done for Coaches versus Cancer. We're going to do it again. Hopefully you can make it out again.
We'd love to. Thanks, Coach. Appreciate it. Best of luck. Safe travels down.
All right, thanks.
All right, that is head coach Mark Schmidt of the St. Bonaventure men's basketball team. Had to get the